This is Christie Williamson. He's from Glasgow and from the Shetland Islands, but I think he's going to tell us something about it.
Yeah.
Came here as a poet, right? Left as an annoyed. Let's hear about it.
It seems I have yet to leave. I was due to leave this morning. I did manage to leave Roger Smith, but I didn't quite manage to leave New York, which I am going to have another shot at doing tomorrow morning from LaGuardia this time. So yeah, I've had the great pleasure of attending the Roger Smith poetry dinner, and which I massively recommend to anybody. And I'm off to Granada, Nicaragua, for the International Poetry Festival there, which is super exciting. And it's the first time I've been in the States. It's the first time I've been in the Americas anywhere. The closest I've ever been to here until I arrived last Tuesday was Galway Harbour in Ireland. And you could, it was nice to fly through Ireland. You like that kind of connection, but it's been a massive fun trip. A little bit too much fun last night, and
just sit still, just so you don't.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what my hand signal was on.
Yeah.
So say something about the Shetlands.
Shetland. It's Shetland.
It's not the Shetlands.
It's not the Shetlands.
The Shetland Islands.
It's the Shetland Islands is acceptable.
But you don't say the Shetlands.
You don't say the Shetlands. A lot of it. You don't know that. You don't know that.
Well, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that, and you know it now. Yeah. So
I'm learning.
So that's.
Don't say Shetland. Say Shetlands. No.
The other way around. Yeah. Say Shetland. Just say Shetland.
Okay.
Or the Shetland Islands is okay, or Isles. Yeah. So Shetland is where I grew up. I was born into a manse in West Sandwich in the island of Yell. Then when I was 6, we moved over to Mid-Yell, which is on the other side of Yell, which is the second biggest island in Shetland. About 24,000 people live there these days. And we had a big economic fillip in the 70s from the oil business, which has kind of brought like social, like it's had a social cost, and it's had like it's diluted like a very strong culture, but it still remains. It's still there, and you know, prior to oil, like the whole thing was dwindling away. From a little bit of distance, it's easier to see. What's easier to see? What was I saying?
Well, we were trying to find out what the nature of your island community is.
It's easier to see how logistically challenging.
24,000 people living, some 100 miles off the coast of Scotland?
200 miles. 200 miles from Scotland, 200 miles from Norway, and about maybe 100 miles from Orkney.
Do you consider yourself somewhat Norwegian as well?
I don't know if I would go so far as that, but because I would say that there is an authentic, there is like a Shetlandic.
That's what I'm thinking.
There is, so people say, oh, we're more Norwegian we're more like Norwegians than we are Scots, which is, to be honest, I think that's
Cock.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and but the Norwegians weren't Shetlanders either, right? They came sailing over the seas, and they weren't very nice to us either.
Pillaged.
They pillaged and
ravished.
All the stuff that goes with that, and they settled, but but they were also external to the Shetlandic.
What about the language? Does the language have any Norwegian roots?
There was Norn spoken, which was a kind of which was a Scandinavian language. It's pretty much dead now. You get the odd word. In place names. You get a lot. Coming up through the place names. But there is a sound. There's a sound, which is uniquely Shetlandic, I think. So I mean, in linguistic terms, then it's pretty much like a version of Scots, but the sound of it is more Scandinavian. And there is this apparently there is this thing with Shetland folk when they go to live in Norway, they need to learn the language because they don't have the language, but it sits easier in their mouth.
The muscles are trained.
Yeah, they are. So that's interesting.
Okay, so let's wander afield a little bit. And,
cool.
How about the DNA that they found in some burial ground that actually hails back to DNA coming out of the Tigris-Euphrates Valley, which is in Iraq at this point?
Wow.
Did you know that?
No, I'm hearing this.
And the bones that they tracked it in the very old, and it may have been Orkney, but it was I think
One
it
of
was
those.
one of your islands out there, and the burial ground. The people that were traveling, they were traveling from over there in the DNA, and so something
Wow.
a little nutty.
Wow.
And what about the island missionaries? The what do they call them? You know, when you think of
the like St. Column and
That's
Iona
right.
and people
That's
like that.
right.
Yeah, no, I mean that's.
they came out to the islands because they could be isolated and free of.
Yeah. They did. But I mean, all of that stuff. Like when I go from Glasgow to Shetland, it's an operation. It's a task.
To get there.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't fly. It's expensive.
But they were completely isolated.
But
for
you
that
did.
period
Well,
of
yeah. I
time.
mean, these guys couldn't have flown. But if you get the boat today, it's a big journey, and that's you going, paying your cash and getting on a ferry and going and sleeping in a bed. That's hard work. If you're sailing the boat, you know, it's hard. It's a really serious commitment.
It's big water. It's big water between you.
Yeah. It's a lot. There's a lot of it, and it can be very lively as well. And
So let's talk about what's it like to go to a pub
In Shetland?
In Shetland. What's the name of the town?
Lerwick. Lerwick is the town. Is the capital, and there's some good pubs. Yeah, the lounge is a good place to go. There's music on most of the evenings. I think it certainly used to be most of the evenings. Definitely very regular. You'll get people turning up with fiddles, accordions, guitars, and they'll play and they'll sing and
The old time music.
yeah. The music is definitely an area where the traditional culture has
Survived.
Yeah, it survived and thrived, you know. And a guy I went to school with, a guy called Chris Stout. So he works now in Glasgow at the Royal Conservatoire teaching kids, and he went to music school and he trained and as a I think he trained as a violinist. He might have trained as a fiddler. I'm not sure, but he's a great fiddler, and he has that sort of he has that technical background, but he stays true to the
Old time fiddlers.
absolutely to the rhythms and to the actual tunes, you know, because there's a lot of, and you get into that kind of folk music, then there are like tunes that you're expected to know. Do you know what I mean? And that survive because they touch people's souls. I'm going to go there. That's why they survive, and it's not, it's not because you can invest all you want. You get these government meetings. People sit around the table and say, how are we gonna
save it?
Yeah, how are we gonna save the culture? And the answer is, whatever it is, whether it's literature, whether it's music, whether it's theatre, whether it's film, whatever it is, it survives if it touches people's souls. If it doesn't touch people's souls, you can throw all the cash in the world at it, it's going to die. It's going to be dust. That's my opinion anyway.
Was there an old language? Tell me about the survival of old languages, let's say, in Scotland.
Well, I mean, one of the time was that in that discussion then, a big thing that people would be talking about would be the impact of television, because people, if you think about it,
people aren't telling stories in the old road.
If your linguistic activity is talking to the people who live around you, then and who talk and you'll inevitably share like a linguistic a sound, a rhythm. Like in Manhattan, there's a sound and a rhythm. Yeah, there is. As I'm discovering, to my joy.
Well, they think you're pretty funny. But actually, it's not so much funny as they get deep pleasure in it. They like hearing the sound. It's the truth.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I touched their souls. I hope so. I hope so. And they've certainly touched mine.
They'll open up in a minute.
Yeah.
Even that Irish lady that we had lunch with, she just opened up immediately.
Yeah. Which really reminds me of Glasgow. And it was funny this morning. I'm UK, so I've just missed a flight, which is why I'm here today. Not why I'm here, but it's funny.
Everybody's been very nice, huh?
They've been very nice. They've been very nice, but at the desks. Because I've been here for a week and I've done everything right. Well, I've not done everything right, but I've not can I say I've not fucked up, right? Until this morning, when I wake up 5 minutes before my flight is due to fly out of Kennedy in Lexington Avenue. And so people, but the flight desk wasn't able to do anything for me, and it felt weird. It felt weird because when you're behaving yourself, right, and when you've booked the tickets and whatever, and people are so lovely, and to have to spend a few hours solving a problem, and have people who weren't not, do you know what I mean, they weren't being uncool about not being able to help you, but they just weren't helping you, and it felt alien. As it was hand. But now,
any one of these changes, when you have a fundamental, shock, it takes a few minutes to get it under control.
True.
Cool your soul down and settle down.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway, what's next?
Well, I'm next today.
I don't know. What's next in life?
Well, next in life.
You got 2 children?
I've got 2 kids. Yeah, I've got Oliver. He's 10. Verity is 7. Beautiful little creatures. And I'm missing them.
They miss you.
Yeah. But they'll
say something about Hazel or for her.
Oh.
She may see this.
Oh yeah, no. I hope she does.
Tell her how wonderful she is.
She really is. No, she's. Well, I met Hazel and I fell in love with